I have a little heart to heart about virtual and our last couple of weeks here. So I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I think hopefully it will be for your benefit. So I'm going to start out by talking about my expectations, and the first one involves your camera. So listen, I get it if you have not had your camera on recently, but here's what we're going to ask you to do. Some of you are guessing where I'm headed with this. You know what? Once we started hybrid, it was like awkward because, I'm trying to focus on the people in the room and I'm kind of trying to focus the people on the camera. And it wasn't as big of a deal. I guess if you didn't have your camera on because I wasn't sitting there staring at you, but here I am back again. And now I'm looking at you. And out of, 20 some people, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras on. So let me tell you what the problem with this is. While it's not pleasant for me to look at a black screen, that's not really my issue. My issue is when I look at grades, there's a correlation between people that have their cameras on and people that have their cameras off. All right. And the issue that I see is in general, my grades are lower than they usually are. And obviously there's a problem if people aren't coming to class. And then there's a second problem, as you are fully aware of, when people come to class and they turn off their camera or they never turn it on and then they're not there. So clearly they're missing out on material and, I have no idea what you're doing if your camera is off. So first off, I will ask you nicely, if you are able to turn on your camera, please do so. All right. It helps us connect. It helps me see that you are there. It helps me see that you are paying attention. It helps me call on you if I have a question that I need someone to answer, and it holds you accountable. All right. So I appreciate it. Now it looks like over half of you have managed to turn it on. So here's the thing. Okay. I know it's easy if your camera is off to disappear, to not pay attention, to be on your phone. I mean, honestly, if I was on a meeting with Mr. Brannigan and my camera was on, I would be doing this. I would want him to know that I was there and I was paying attention. If my camera was off, I might be making a cup of tea. I might be checking my phone. I might be wiping my kid's snotty nose. I mean, there are lots of things that I could be doing if my camera was off. So it just holds you accountable. All right. It makes sure that you are as focused as you can be. All right. So that's what I'm going to hope that you are doing. Now, if you can't get your camera on, it happens, right? Maybe your camera doesn't work. Fine. Maybe you've got something going on in your background that you just don't want everybody to see. I get it. All right. Maybe you got kids crawling all over you. Maybe, your grandma's in the background doing something. I mean, fine. So what that means is if your camera is off, you need to be prepared to be called on. And if you're not there, I'm marking you absent. All right. Because if you're not here physically and you're not there mentally, then it's like you're not here. And I hope that that just encourages you with our last couple weeks to make sure that you are focused, to make sure, see right now. Okay. See, you could tell what I was doing there. I was yelling at my kids. Okay. So anyways, the idea is that we have 2 weeks left. All right, really, we have Friday, we have 2 weeks, then we have finals. All right, keep yourself here and it should help you if you are struggling. I have way too many people struggling. And I think that, again, if your camera's on, it forces you to be more attentive, and hopefully that will have a knock-on effect. You will know what you need to do. You will know when you need to do it, and you will pay more attention. So that being said, I'm still taking participation points. So if your camera's on, right, you raise your hand. Now today, I'm not really doing that, but I will on Friday. And then if I call on you, it's fine. I mean, you can still raise your blue hand if you can't get your camera on, or I just call on you. So I am still taking participation. I got my little clipboard back. Somebody brought it to me, so I'm ready to go. And I will probably give you another participation grade, maybe even after class on Friday. So just another little incentive to make sure you're participating. All right. So hopefully if you are not doing well, if you are in that low DF range, just getting your focus on will help. If you are in the C range and you're usually an A or a B student, hopefully that will help. I am trying to be super generous, right, with accepting late work and all the rest of it. You'll notice a lot of teachers said, I'm opening up these 5 assignments. I didn't do that because I've said the whole time, get me anything you want to get me. I understand that for some of you, this online thing is not a big deal. And I also know for some of you, it's terrible, right? Your Wi-Fi is terrible. You have to watch your siblings, whatever. So I'm trying to be super flexible here. You just have to continue to get me work. And I'm going to lead that into my next topic. And then I promise we will talk about your quiz before I give it to you. So tomorrow is going to be a Canvas day. That means we're not live. If you are a sophomore, you will be meeting with your personal project teacher. From 9 to 11. Otherwise, you have nothing else that is live for the day. And if you're not a sophomore, then you have nothing live. So let me show you what I will post. I'll even post it later tonight. It is going to be a great day for you to catch up on things. Some of you are up to date with things. More of you are not up to date than are. So this is your assignment for today that I'll come back to. Let me show you for tomorrow what I'm going to post. And hopefully you can use it as a catch-up day. All right, so here's what tomorrow's lesson is going to look like. It says no live lesson, catch-up day, missing work. It says this 9 weeks. If there's something big from last 9 weeks that you're missing, we can talk about that too. So for me, what I would suggest is first you check Skyward, see if you have any zero. Then that tells you what you need to look at next, right? So maybe you need to look at your textbook. Maybe you need to look under assignments or you need to look under quizzes. Don't forget, a lot of practice assignments I post under quizzes. They're not quizzes, but that's what where they are posted. There was a Kahoot that you were supposed to do for today that was supposed to help you practice preterite versus imperfect. If you didn't do that, I will give you a chance still to do that tomorrow. All right. Then I actually said, if you didn't take your quiz because you're not here today, which doesn't affect you guys, you can take that tomorrow. Finally, this is the assignment for today. After your quiz, because the quiz doesn't take that long, you can work on your Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera research. There was about 10 or 12 questions on this document, and I need that submitted here before class on Friday. So you can work on that today after your quiz, or you can work on that tomorrow. So these are kind of the highlights. Please continue to get me things. And as you turn things in, it doesn't hurt if you're turning it in late to send me a message, especially if it's in your textbook, especially if it's on Kahoot. Actually, I'm going to write that on there because I don't get any notification of that. With Kahoot, I just get like a big list of names. So that's kind of what's on deck for tomorrow. Then Friday will be an easy day. We'll just talk about Frida and Diego and look at some artwork and hopefully get you some participation points. Any general questions for me? Does that all make sense? Where we're headed, what we're doing, opportunities to get me things? Okay. So before we actually take this preterite and imperfect quiz, I felt like I wanted to give you a quick opportunity to look at stuff and ask questions because half of you I didn't see yesterday. And I felt like that was a little unfair going into the quiz for especially those people that I didn't see yesterday. So if you are looking at your current lesson, I was going to give you a second here to click on, let me go to your current lesson, that little preterite versus imperfect activity that you did the other day. So it's under number 1. Why don't you take a quick second to look that over? Hopefully you've completed it. I guess if not, you can do it, but that doesn't do you a lot of good for your quiz. So why don't you click on there, see how you did. That format and just the idea of it is pretty similar to the quiz. So you need to know when to use the imperfect, you need to know when to use the preterite, and then you're going to have some examples where you have to choose preterite or imperfect. So again, the quiz is not long. It will not take you the whole period. So why don't you take 2 minutes to look over that assignment and then let me know if you have any questions, because I would hate to not give you that opportunity to ask before you take a quiz on the same thing. Okay, so take a minute or two. You can put questions in the chat or just wait and then I'll say, does anybody have a question? Are you sure? Are you sure? Thank you, Alyssa. All right. Opportunity to ask question. Going once, going twice. Are we ready to do this? Okay. So nothing super unusual. I'll give you the access code in just a second. Quiz doesn't take too long. It's not super long and it's just short answer. So I would expect you to be done. I don't know, average time is like 10 or 15 minutes. I think I gave you a half hour. When you are done, you may leave the Zoom and then you should work on that Frida and Diego little research thing from yesterday. It's posted under your current lesson. And then of course, any other makeup work that you need to do. Okay. And then I will see you again on Friday. Okay. Password ready is rojo. Rojo. I'll put it in the chat as in the color red. Rojo. Somebody give me a quick thumbs up. It's working. You're in. Okay. All right. So get to it. Good luck. I'll mute myself, but if you have a question, let me know. And otherwise, sorry, I muted myself. Do your best work. Buena suerte.